It's extremely important. This could be a very big game changer. We know that for years, U.S. presidents, starting with Obama, have been saying Europe needs to invest in its own defense. Finally, it seems that Trump is getting the message through. It's viewed maybe as a little bit of a panic situation, but we know that Europe responds, for better or worse, best under pressure. The pressure is on right now, and European leaders are rising to the challenge. And this is very good news indeed. NATO as an alliance needs to stick together, but what the US needs is a strong European partner in NATO. We're a wealthy continent. We can afford our own defense. It seems that the signals are finally being heard, and the actions are finally going to be taken.
If I go through and look at this list, we see the faces in the family photos, it's called there. Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron, Olaf Scholz, Mette Frederiksen of Denmark. We have Giorgia Meloni there of Italy, Dick Schroef of the Netherlands. We have the Polish, Spanish, Turkish, Finnish, Swedish leaders, Romania, Czech Republic, no Latvia, no Estonia, no Lithuania. Talk us through, and I believe they're being represented, but talk us through whether it matters that there is no voice from a leader there today in the Baltics.
I think it does matter. We in the Baltics and Latvia, we perhaps know and understand and have been analyzing Russia maybe a little closer than many of our other European colleagues. So we're a direct neighbor. We feel the threat very much throughout our entire history. So our participation at the table would have been, I think, very fruitful. I'm personally somewhat surprised because a couple of years ago, when I was still prime minister, I was basically always present at all of the key meetings as the war was starting to unfold. In meetings with the German chancellor, with the French president, also, of course, with the British prime minister. So this is, it's somewhat disquieting. And I certainly think that the European allies should involve the Baltic leaders. We in the Baltics can bring to the table very good understanding of Russia. And as a reminder, in the Baltics, in Latvia this year, my country is spending 3.5% of GDP on defense. Next year, it will be 4%, and then moving up to 5% in a couple of years' time. So we put our money on the line, we invest in our defense, and we have lots of expertise that can help our partners indeed.
I heard a line, I spoke to a European source, the EU in Brussels today. One of the views, and again, it's not Brussels hosting that, it's the UK, was that because of the alacrity, having so many voices in the room, up to 30 leaders perhaps, rather than 20 leaders, the speed of decision-making takes far longer. And if you're having potentially similar reflected views, therefore everybody has to speak, it's easier to be represented. But I'm sensing from what I've just heard, that's not an argument you buy.
Well, look, of course, 20 people around a table is more difficult than 5 people around the table. That's very clear, much more, and 30, etc. But things are happening at a very rapid pace. What I would expect is that the Baltic leaders would be involved in future rounds and also in, shall we say, the semi-rounds, because the discussions will be going on. The good news is that everyone around the table in London today is on the same page, together with the Baltic countries as well. So the important thing is that in Europe, and what's very important here to note, it's not the European Union. It is Europe that is European NATO allies that are coming together. And when European NATO allies are united, we actually are a tremendous power in the world. We just have to realize that power, get ourselves organized, and make sure that everyone is investing in their defense, as the Baltic countries are, as Poland is.